we're smart in different ways. And
Yes.
I was talking to one of the production assistants here today about IEPs, and there I know one of my sons had an IEP, and it's I can't remember what it stands for, educational plan.
Yep.
He was treated very, very differently than his classmates. And as a learning strategist working with many, many students with learning disabilities, I worked with students that had brain injuries. I worked with students that were told their whole life they'd never amount to anything, and they weren't smart. And I personally, my assessment after all working with all those students is we all have a learning disability, because we learn in different ways and we're smart in different ways. So because I'm not as good as something else, I had really high marks in math and science in school and low marks in English. Well, I didn't think I could go to university. Well, now I have 2 university degrees, but that took a lot of gumption to get to that place, because those tapes kept playing over and over. We're smart in different ways, we learn in different ways, and I believe that learning disabilities are labels that we put on people. We learn differently, and someone that may be labeled as having a learning disability has an incredible gift in another way that we have to find, and overwhelm those strengths that they have with a weakness maybe in one area. And there's lots of strategies to support all the ways we learn.
Yes, there's an entire education model dedicated to that kind of approach, where you take someone that's even struggling in a course at a grade 6 level, and they get private education, and what do? All they do is they simply say, they start them at a grade 4 level, and then they say, oh, I can do that, I can do that.
Confidence.
Then it goes to grade 5, I can do that, I can do that. Then it goes through grade 6, I can do that, I can then go through grade 7. They're like, oh my gosh, I can still do that. And then they say, by the way, did you know you just learned next year's grade? And they're like, I did. Once you lose all that baggage, and you lose all that fear, and you lose all that pressure, and you stop teaching for the test, and you start teaching for the knowledge, the C students tend to hire the A students because they're the ones that can see the big picture. And they anyway, we can go on. We can talk forever about this stuff. I'm really excited about running the school with you in this coming season. It's fantastic.
So thrilled.
Fantastic.
And people might be wondering,